Good morning, or good day, good evening, whatever time zone you are. It's February 16, 2022. It's a SIG Node CI subgroup meeting. Welcome, everybody. We have one agenda item today from Imran. Imran, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me, Sajid?
Yeah, perfectly fine.
Yeah, cool. So the last time we talked about this, it was regarding the PR on the Kubernetes repo regarding the E2E test for lock contention flags. So after providing, after doing addressing your feedback, I found out that the test job for it in the test infra repo was removed. I have mentioned the link to the commit as well, which removed that. So I was not sure what would the next steps be for this PR and especially the test job PR. Someone, I don't remember the name, but that person.
I think Daniel recommended to recreate
Yes.
it with containerd.
Yes. So it was mentioned that, okay, to add the job back. So I have done that. So it's a matter of taking a look at that and see if if everything is in their order.
Okay.
And regarding the PR on the Kubernetes repo for the E2E test, I have addressed your feedback. There was a bit of mess up where I accidentally pushed an old version of the changes. I mean, so it override the changes which I made addressing your feedback. So I've also addressed that.
Great. Can you remind me what the status of the migrating this arguments to the kubelet config? I remember this was part of a bigger work that you've been doing.
So the idea is that we want these flags and we don't want it to be deprecated. So we want it to move to kubelet configuration. This is that it is hold up because we don't have an end-to-end test suite for that. So this right now, this PR, what it does, it adds the end-to-end test suite, and afterwards, later we'll convert this, add the test for the same set of flags in the kubelet as a kubelet configuration, so that there's another PR for that, which does the actual move these flags as a to kubelet configuration, which will then later be merged and reviewed.
Okay. And after that, we can merge it with all the other serial jobs because we can change the configuration and change it back after the test, right?
Yeah. So this does not require the serial test suite because it is disruptive in nature. It restarts the kubelet, and also it for now. I mean, we add 2 extra flags to the kubelet, which is not required by the other test suites, other tests in the serial test suite.
No, I just curious about long-term plan.
Okay.
It's yeah, it's very ideally we need to run most of the tests as a single suite. It's more efficient. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will take a look. Any questions on that topic? Okay, then let's take a test grid. I think we made significant progress this week. Let's take a look. I think Tao filled it up today, right, Tao? Do you want to talk about it?
Yes, thanks, Gray. And this week much better. And can we scroll down a little bit? Yeah, highlight like SIG Node critical. They are all green now, and which is recovered from last week. And the other parts are almost the same from last week. And from the SIG Node container D, I think there are less failures this week by comparing to last week nodes. And for SIG Node cost, it's the same with last week. And for NPD, there is one new test failure. I created an issue, but I don't know how to add that issue into the project, into our tracking board. So please feel free to click on this 108166 and add it into the CI dashboard.
Sure, I added it.
Great, thanks. And the other two remaining, the other three remaining, they are the same one last week. All the failures has corresponding issues to track, and I think we're good.
Yeah, I saw PR for NPT from Varsha. I think she's working on that, but there were some comments that needs to be addressed. And great progress on C group V2. If you haven't seen that, the problem with C group V2 was that ordering of containerd installation and configuring of test was messed up. So containerd and test installation will run in parallel, and there will be a lot of races. What will be installed first? So that was fixed, and it fixed many tests. Is that? And the reason we haven't seen it before, because before we've been sometimes passing container runtime as a remote, sometimes as containerd, and in one case it would do some steps that may race with the containerd installation. Some other cases it wouldn't. So we just never noticed these problems before because of this messed up of what we pass as container runtime. Okay, this is it. Any other questions or comments on test grid health?
Not for me.
Thank you. Next, let's take a performance, look at performance really quick, and then we switch to triage of test issues. CPU is good, memory all stable, and look at runtime. Runtime is also stable and stable. Perfect. No surprises this week. No, not bugs yet. Let's look at this dashboard. We have only 8 items to triage today. Most of them work in progress, so easy triage. Okay, containing a huge pages job. Was it on? Oh. Okay, it was easy. Unit test and not shut down unit test.
Could we go and close that one? Because I think that was an underlying issue with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I closed this
Oh,
one.
okay, you closed it. Okay,
yeah.
I missed that. Thanks, Sergey.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for asking. Race condition. Yeah, looks legit. And there is already fix.
And there was a fix that didn't work.
Okay.
I'm waiting for them to, like, I'm giving them a few days to try fixing it again before I, like, just do it.
So I would say important long term. I tend to say
tests are important soon.
Is it making a test flake?
Yeah, just
okay.
very, very occasionally.
Okay.
There's a handful of kubelet tests that, like, every like 1,000 runs will fail because we wrote bad tests, but they're just good enough to work.
Thank you, Daniel. Cherry pick. This is code issue, so we will archive it from here. This code. Set elementary collection. Well, Ilana, is this 295 files? This is
Hold
huge.
on. So it's it's also got a shruggy on it. What is going on with this PR? The reason that there's so many files is because there's a run C bump inside of it. Like there's a vendor update. Currently, I actually just met with Bartek about this morning. So Kubelet uses a lot of CPU, and like a huge amount of it is just like spent on C advisor, like recreating the labels for Prometheus metrics, like creating the data structures over and over again, even though they don't actually change. And then as a result, like spending a ton of time in garbage collection for like the old labels, which are the same as the new labels, but the Kubelet doesn't know that. And so anyways, Bartek is working on like adding a new Prometheus cached implementation in order to collect this a little bit more efficiently, something more like cube state metrics, for example. And so this was my attempt to like kind of integrate that. And so this builds, but there are like issues, like no metrics are coming out. So my follow-up on this is I need to write an end-to-end test that verifies that metrics are being scraped. So then the node test will fail if like that's not happening. I can't believe that we don't have this end-to-end test, but we don't. It would have prevented at least one major regression that we had with like C advisor metrics disappearing in 119. So I'm gonna write this end-to-end test, and then yeah, I've just been working with Bartek and Damien Grisonnet on this. So yeah. Anyways, you like, I mean, needless to say, you can dump it into like archive it or something. I don't think it's relevant for the test board, but.
Do you need to make Bartek here?
Oh,
Or
no,
he knows?
that's okay. He knows.
Okay.
The only person that I would maybe want to like get, you know, a take on would be David Porter, but I don't think that we need his feedback quite yet.
Okay, thank you. It's
That's just a
not
dev
us.
upgrade.
Yeah. And this is what we just talked about. I will accept it.
Don't we have, I feel like we had an issue for this and we transferred it to the node problem detector repo. So I think this is a duplicate.
Have we?
Yeah, I mean, somebody I think filed it a while back.
Okay, let me check. Yeah, as I said, I know I saw PR from Warshed that fixing something in the PD test. Okay. Okay, let's review here. Let's see what needs reviewer. Maybe it doesn't need it any longer. This is assigned to David and it's failing. Okay. I think we need to just poke David.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know you here.
Yeah.
I hope that test failures are irrelevant. Otherwise, yeah. Maybe wait till test will pass.
We'll do.
Okay, so this is product code mostly. So I will move it out from here. Not sure why it's tracked. Yeah, this is what I was talking about, this PR for continuity. Yeah, this minor comment here. I'm not sure why it will fix the test. Oh, this issue you mean, right? Ilana, is it what you meant?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you filed it already. There we go. That was it.
Yeah. Is it the same component? Okay, I'll check offline, but if it's duplicate, it's not a big problem. Yeah, I don't know why this will fix the test, but if it will, it's great. Container run.
Yeah, this maybe can mark important long term. This was based on a comment that Kevin had left on a PR or some of the changes that we submitted in 123.
Okay. So this is a product code mostly, right?
Yeah.
Let me put it out of scope of this SIG, but it's still on main board. Yeah, so we have legit two PR that need reviewer, and we still have one that needs approver. Maybe they scope beyond what we own. Elena, maybe we need to take it offline and see whether we can make progress on all of them. I think this one is ready to merge, by the way. So if you can take a look.
Oh, that's an oldie. Yeah, I think I was waiting on something from Harshell there.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, anything else for test part of the meeting? If we look at everything, if not, we will go to bug triage now. Only 5 bugs.
No, that's 2 more than yesterday, I think.
5 days back. Standalone kubelet. Huh.
That looks like a bug.
Definitely looks
It
like a
does
bug.
indeed. Yeah, it even has a pointer to code. Okay, so it's not SIG Node.
Yeah, SIG storage might be missing. If kubelet client is nil. I mean, it's still kind of us. I think we should triage accept this, but I think someone in SIG
Okay.
storage is going to need to fix this.
I don't think we ever test kubelet standalone. It raises a question.
Yeah, we don't have any SIG Node ETEs that would cover like standalone properly.
Yeah, I wonder how the test will look like. Just run kubelet and run a couple static pods. Okay, this is done. Yeah, this is interesting. Okay, so it seems that it's the same issue as this one. I wonder what kind of information we can ask. If full kubelet may be useful. Kubelet log. Yeah, quite fresh. Okay. Yeah, we need to understand why it's not cleaning up this sandboxes. Okay, deploying the create pod infinitely if pod failed to unexpected ignition error.
That doesn't seem like a node bug.
I agree. It seems like something that is an unpleasant but legit state of things. I mean, if the kubelet rejects admission, the job of the controller is to recreate the pod. It's very similar to what we have with the topology manager. It's when kubelet rejects admission, you almost always end up in states like this. I'm not sure if this is what Danielle meant, but I do think that.
Like replica set is doing its replication job, and the kubelet is doing its job of telling you to go away.
Exactly, completely agree.
Yeah,
John,
I would say it's a SIG apps thing potentially, or just an application error.
but they also need to understand what's this unexpected admission error.
Yeah, they didn't share any details on that or kubelet logs or anything like that.
Aren't there like 2 lines of log?
Is there?
Those were kubelet version.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Okay. Yeah, local system should be enough. But I think it's Windows bug. Yeah, I will remove node. Unless they will need a review from us. Where is this function? Yeah, they will need a review from SIG Node. So I will keep a SIG Node, but let them triage. Okay. Yeah, we done with that, and we still have half an hour. Why wouldn't we just check what needs information? Maybe look at first view.
Yeah. Well, that one you just updated.
Oh yeah.
I remember this one from a while back. What's the update on it?
Fix it.
Oh,
Let's close.
whether or not like this is why I think I had suggested they should really be filing a bug against like Red Hat and not Kubernetes for this, because if they're missing a cherry pick and the cherry pick is done in Kubernetes but wasn't done in OpenShift, like no bug here can help them.
Yeah.
And it does sound like there's a cherry pick missing in an older version of OpenShift. So
And Kubernetes 119. So yeah, quite old. And this cherry pick is, by the way, is also it cannot be 119, right? Because 119 is not support. Oh, it was done before.
yeah, it was done like
April,
last year.
Okay.
It might not have made it into an OpenShift rebase. So.
Okay. Feature
Oh, that's a
request.
feature request. That shouldn't be on the bugs board.
Have you removed it already? I don't see. How did I end up opening it? I might.
Oh, maybe your query just includes non-bugs. Yeah, that one was a feature.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Some update here. Something stuck. Some information about volume stack. And it has logs now. I hope this is the right thing. Will it work?
Yeah. Do we want to triage accept that? I mean, I guess
Yeah.
who's going to look at it? Not sure.
Any takers? Refresh. Okay, we can keep it open for now. Let's update here. Oh, okay. just move to needs information. Okay, just wrote it.
Yeah, sometimes the stale bot is the update.
Yeah, let's say a couple more.
For that one, honestly, I'm not sure. It's possible there is yet another bug in the kubelet refactor with the pod worker, or it's possible that they just did something ridiculous and like the storage thing can't retry. It's hard to tell if this is a kubelet thing or a storage thing, and I was hoping that maybe SIG storage could confirm that it's a kubelet thing. Given that the one log error they provided was error syncing pod skipping, which is definitely coming from the pod worker. Like they haven't provided full kubelet logs. Did we ask them for full kubelet logs? Did they share them?
No.
Okay, maybe we should ask for that.
Okay. Now I need to change triage. Same needs information. What is this one? What's the fix? Separate. Okay, what we asked. Yeah, still not working for them. Docker version and the version 119. So 119 is out of support technically.
Yeah, and 120 is about to go out of support as well. I think the patch release we're doing this month is the last one.
Needs information. What fails with that policy always? Oh, Elena, you wanted to comment on this ordering that completed this end of life. Do
Oh,
you
that's
want me
right.
to comment on that?
No, I just need to remember to actually comment on this one. It's assigned to me. I will try to remember after this meeting.
Thank you. Then, okay, what we asked. What is okay?
Is that Oracle Kubernetes?
Yeah. I'm puzzled.
I assume it's all
I know.
Kubernetes
I know they
engine or
call
something.
their cloud OCI, Oracle Cloud something or other.
Yeah, okay, Oracle. You're right. Yeah, OCI is very unfortunate name as well. Open Container
Yeah,
Initiative.
very confusing.
Interesting. So Kublet keeps reporting that node is under heavy RAM utilization. I remember it now, like we've been discussing whether there is some race in taking these measurements.
I mean, 4 gigs of memory being used in kernel buffer is like not the same as there actually being a bunch of memory sitting around on the system. It's probably doing some like IO intensive stuff and the working set is relatively small. And they're like confused when like the node needs to free up memory because it's got too much stuff in there somewhere. I don't know. I just don't think it's accurate to say that, you know, like, sure, it says available for 3.4 gigs, but 3.7 is being used for kernel buffer. Just because it's not an application working set doesn't mean it's not being used by stuff. It's probably being used by that stuff, just not directly in a way that the kernel is measuring it that way. I don't know.
I'm not quite following.
Okay, so when you have, say, a very IO intensive workload, frequently a thing that the kernel will do is it will take all of the stuff that it would otherwise be reading from disk and caches it in memory. That memory is not like associated with the application as far as kernel accounting goes. It goes into kernel buffer. So like if you have a very IO intensive thing on a system that doesn't necessarily have a ton of memory, or like you have an app that's doing a bunch of IO intensive stuff, it might have a very small working set of memory, but it's actually using a bunch of memory because all the stuff that it was hitting on disk is being cached in the kernel. So like, I think that's probably the situation that we're in here.
Yeah, but it still says available.
Yes, it
like
says
cache is
available,
separate,
but
yeah.
that just means that it can like, it can free that if it needs it.
I see. And
Like the actual free memory, if you look at that system, is 445 megs of the like 8 gig total. Available just means that it's happy to evict those pages, but like they are being used.
so they said that there is no running pods on this node, so we need to understand what is actually running there. Because if this theory is correct, then we need to have something IO intensive running right away, right?
Well, I mean, if they're running other workloads on the node, potentially that could also be competing with Kubernetes. There's like a bunch of possibilities here. To me, this is like going pretty deep into like application level support. I would say like if they're using Oracle, they should maybe talk to Oracle about what they're doing here. It could also be a bug in like Oracle's platform, right? We have no way of telling. We don't have access to those binaries. So this is some of the problems of like, you know, we're the downstream of, or sorry, we're the upstream of this downstream thing, and we're getting support tickets for the downstream product.
Yeah.
Maybe like it might be helpful to explain to them that like available memory is not the same thing as free memory, and like the free memory on the system is accurate. Something is causing a bunch of memory to be like used by the kernel for buffer or cache, and that does have an effect on available memory on the system.
Yeah, how Kubernetes will calculate this available?
That I'm not entirely sure.
Is David on the call still? David, do you remember? No.
Yeah, I
Was it
remember
like that?
there's something in C Advisor that I don't remember exactly, but I remember there is some special logic paid to whether it's available or whether it's buffer and cache, and I believe it's like subtracted or something like that. I don't remember the exact logic off my head, but it is handled somewhere.
You can assign this one to me and I'll comment on it. I'll try to do that one and the other one at the end of the meeting.
Yeah, it'd be great to understand how we measure that, and like maybe ask them to run the same command as we do in kubelet, so to make sure that kubelet doesn't do. It's not an error in kubelet; it's actually what is happening on a node that is occupied by some other processes. Thank you, Anna. Source temporary unavailable. Okay. So let's close it since it's not relevant to Kubernetes. Okay. I suggest we take 10 minutes back and close up all the respond to the bugs and clean up things. Anything else for today, Triage? Thank you. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks all.
Bye, folks.